Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 164, for Tuesday, the 9th of May, 2023. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G, and joining me today is...
I've made sure that I don't rip the power lead out this time, considering what happened last time when I was on the podcast. It's number one Stuntmaster.
And that's it, it's just us two this week. Nick and Sensei are busy this weekend. Obviously, it's bank holiday weekend for the King's coronation coming up on Saturday. We're recording really early, so we normally record on a Sunday, and it's now Friday. So, wow, yeah, I know. It's just I'm busy bank holiday. F1's on in the evening and stuff going on, so had to rearrange the recording schedules. Luckily, Stunty was available, which is absolutely fantastic.
Is this a paid one or a freebie one?
No, it's a freebie one, mate, so everyone will get to hear your dulcet tones.
Wow, no one's heard me on the freebie one for ages. I bet they feel really disappointed now.
Yeah, so because last episode was the Sega Special Part 2, where we talked about the Saturn and the Dreamcast. So
how many hours was that?
Oh, that was over 2 hours easy. It's about 2.5 hours. Yeah, it was good. It was a really good episode. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I know Nick's quite a Sega person. I know he loves his Dreamcast and the Saturn, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Dreamcast. No, I've got a Saturn now, but I never had one at the time. But if you want to listen to any of that, people who are listening, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. And we've got a new I've decided to do a new thing for the patrons as well, Stunty. So once a month, I'm going to do a live stream with a random number generator and give away gift cards every month. So that's an incentive for people to become patrons, and you only get entered into that live draw if you've been a consecutive subscriber for 2 months or more. So it's worth it. I think, it's something to give back. And one of the reasons for that is I've cancelled the hosting for the website because no one looks at websites these days. So that cost is now gone. So my only outgoing for the show is the podcast hosting. So the rest of the money is just kind of sitting there. So I thought, well, why not do something nice and give back to the community who are helping to support the show?
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So... yeah, so if you want more details on that, tune in. I think I'm going to do the first one in a week or two. I haven't got the specifics down yet, but I'll let everyone know on the Discord where we're going to go from there. So that's super duper awesome. Anyway, let's get into the show. I've not played a hell of a lot of games this week. I don't know about you, Stunty. I was a little bit of news.
For a proper show for a long time, haven't I?
No, you haven't. So
1,000 games to talk about, but don't worry.
No, we're trying to keep this episode down to an hour because I've got things happening this evening as well. So we're not going to rush it, but we're just trying to keep it not super long this week, and I don't think it will be anyway. But
to talk.
Well, anyway, so a bit of news is that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, due out next week, got leaked online about 4 or 5 days ago. So I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. So that would have been the 2nd or the 3rd around about then, which obviously Nintendo are not very happy about. Obviously, review copies are out in the wild, which is fantastic. And I got a review copy. So I've been playing it a hell of a lot this week, so I can talk about it. So Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I tell you what, I wasn't expecting much from it. So because a lot of the stuff that I'd seen online was, it's basically just the same map from the previous game. And I was just like, same map, what the fuck, you know what I mean? A bit shitty. But it's actually the map's changed a hell of a lot, and there's a lot of extras to it. So what I'm going to talk about isn't really spoilerish, but if you don't listen to any Zelda chat, I'd probably fast forward maybe 10 minutes. So basically, the game starts off with Link and Zelda are investigating underneath Hyrule Castle, And it's really, really odd because at the beginning, Link has like 10 hearts, a super awesome fucking armor, and obviously the legendary sword of time or whatever the hell it's called. And I'm thinking, oh, right, this is cool. And then stuff happens, and then basically you lose all your hearts apart from 3, and you don't have a sword anymore. So it's basically you're starting from fresh. And the world itself, you start off, and I didn't recognize any of the world at all. So basically, you start off in this kind of world in the sky. So the world, so the game's actually split onto 3 levels. So you got the world in the sky, which is like these floating islands and stuff, and then you've got the main world of Hyrule, as you remember it kind of from the first game, but they've changed it a hell of a lot. I mean, it's been a lot of years, so I don't really recognize much of it at all. But they've changed a lot of the stuff within the world, what things look like. The shrines are back, but they look completely different, and they are completely different when you do them. And I'll get into that in a minute. There's new powers in this, which are really, really cool, actually. So they're split onto 3 levels. So you've got as I say, the sky type of level, the main world level, and then there's a whole underground world as well. So the way you access the underground world is there's these big holes in the ground dotted throughout the map, and you can go down them, and they take a long time to fall down, and you pull out your parachute thing, your glider, and then kind of float down. But the mechanic for that works. You need light to be able to see where you're going. So there's like this big route thing which lights up a certain area, but then you need to collect these like these little plants that give off light, and you can attach them to your arrows and fire them, and it lights up a certain area, or you can throw them. So the map is so fucking huge compared to what it was before.
Right.
So this game's going to be fucking long. It really, really is. So I've not even scratched the surface, really. I mean, I've been playing it. I mean, I've probably put about 10 or so hours into it, and I feel like I've hardly scratched the surface, to be honest. Because what I've been doing, and this is how I do a lot of open world games, is basically it reminds me a little bit of Assassin's Creed. And what I mean by that is there's these towers dotted around the world, and you need to go up to them and kind of, you don't climb them, you get shot up in the sky, but when you do that, it like reveals the map of that area, if that makes sense. So then you can see all the little bits and pieces, like the points of interest and stuff on the map. So, and also you can't fast travel to anywhere in that portion of the map unless you've revealed it on these towers. And they're not super easy. Like some of them you just walk up to and you click it and job done. But some of them is like there's a dude that says, oh, I need to repair it, and I need like so one of them as an example is I need these mushrooms to give me strength, and then you can only find them in a certain cave, so you need to go and figure out where this cave is to give this dude the mushrooms, as an example, right? So there's a lot of exploration in the game. The horses are back as well. Apparently your horse from the original can port over, but I couldn't figure that out, so so it's basically the same. You sneak up to the horses and jump on them, and then you can register them at the stables. So that's cool. However, like the only thing that's a little bit disappointing, and it shouldn't be disappointing really, it's just the graphics and the frame rate. And I know like you play a Nintendo Switch and you're not expecting a lot because the hardware is very underwhelming anyway, but it's using exactly the same engine as the original, as the last Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo Switch, which is fine, right? But I'm just trying to temper people's expectations. Don't expect anything new in the graphics department or the frame rate department. There is quite a lot of dips here and there, but I've been looking past that because I've been having a hell of a fun time playing the game. Right, the gameplay is all there, and so there's these new mechanics which completely change the game from the original. So basically in the sky there's let me start from the beginning. So basically once stuff happens in the game, you get this power on your arm, And so basically you can turn back time on certain objects. You can attach objects to other objects, and you can also attach objects to your weapons and your shield. So basically, obviously, you know that the weapons degrade and your shields degrade in the original Zelda. What happens in this one as well. But basically, you can improve your weapon statistics by attaching stuff to them. So basically, you hold down the left bumper and it brings up like, so if you're on this special wheel, and you can fuse like rocks or other items to your weapon, so it makes it stronger. So I don't know if you've seen any videos online where people have got a sword with a rock attached to the end, so kind of like this massive mace. You can do things like that, and it's very easy to do, right? So that's actually really, really cool, and you need to do that to get through certain puzzles and stuff. But what I'm really liking though is the other one where you can just attach items to other items, because you can make some really cool things in the game. So you can attach like wood together, put wheels on the bottom, and make yourself like a little cart. Like you get these little fans that you attach to the back, so it powers it along. You can do the same like to make little boats and little planes and things. And the shrines are kind of all dedicated to that, and it teaches you a lot about how you attach all these things together, because the puzzles in the shrines are pretty much involving those abilities, be it the turning back time on items to go a different direction, or fusing things together in a certain way. And some of them are very, very tricky. Like I've been stuck on some of the shrines for quite some time, to be honest. Because I've been playing it a lot in my front room on the big TV with my kids watching, because obviously it's very kid friendly. And my little boy's been like, "Oh, Daddy, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that?" And it's been quite fun to do. But because some of them, like, you really have to think outside the box on how to put objects together to get to the end of the puzzle. Like there's certain things that go on rails, and if you don't do it in the right way, it like comes off the rails and you fall into the pit and stuff like that, right? So I'm loving that mechanic. I think it's really cool. And you need to do the shrines to get the blessing things to go to the statue to get your extra hearts and stamina. So there's that. So main story wise, I haven't really done a hell of a lot. So basically, you get to a point in the main story. I'm not going to spoil it at all, but there's like 4 points in different parts of the map which you need to go to. So I've been going toward. I was going towards one and got distracted by doing the shrines, and then something happened and I've only got as far as I think I can, so I've moved on to the second one now, and I'm kind of stuck on one of the towers where the dude needs the mushrooms from a cave, because it says, the cave's at the bottom of the hill, explore it. I've been to one of them in the hill and it's not got these stupid mushrooms. So yeah, I'm not really 100% on that. So I've just been, because I like to just explore and stuff, because the world's so huge. But as I say, it's a really good game, and I think people have pre-ordered it will be really happy with it. I mean, I'm, as someone who wasn't really looking forward to it or excited for it, wasn't really looking into it at all, I'm shocked at how good it is. I seriously think it'll be a Game of the Year contender for sure. I mean, I know we all bang on about graphics and stuff, but it's a Switch that, like, on pure gameplay, this game is really fucking good, and that's what games are all about, right? And I know, I get poo-pooed for the frame rates and stuff, because I do moan about it, but if you get a really good game, those things kind of don't really matter at the end of the day, and this kind of proves that point, to be honest, because it is really, really fun. And I just can consider myself very lucky to have been able to play it early, just so I can talk about it on this podcast, to give people a little bit of a preview of what they can expect when the game is released on Friday. It's absolutely fantastic. As I say, I'm not giving away any story things. I think I've gone over the gameplay mechanics and bits and pieces. Anyway, I mean, do you have any questions, Stunty, or do you think I've kind of gone over?
I
the
think
bits
you've
and
gone over
pieces.
most of it. Yeah, I wouldn't go too deep at the moment because it's
No,
not out yet properly.
no,
Probably talk about it a bit more when it's actually released and
yeah, sure,
when we've got more information, because I haven't really looked at a lot of Zelda, the new one. I must admit, I have ordered it,
yeah,
but as I was saying before the podcast, I've actually gone back to Breath of the Wild actually, because I never actually. Well, I played Breath of the Wild when it first came out, and I don't
yeah,
know why I just dipped off it very, very quickly.
mm-hmm.
And I've just gone back to it recently. And I've probably said it before on the podcast. I've never finished a Zelda game. I feel terrible. I've never finished a Zelda game. I always get so far, then get stuck, or something happens and I can't finish it. The last one was not Twilight Princess, the Wind Waker. I got
Oh
halfway
yeah,
through that, then I got stuck on that on a certain section on that, and then I tried Skyward Swords, which came out on the Switch. I got flying that, and I got
yeah,
stuck on that. And now Breath of the Wild was the same. I got stuck on that, but I've gone back to it now, and I'm enjoying it. I struggle with the controls on the Switch because, as I say, I'm so used to playing the PlayStation all the time that it's like everything's backwards.
yeah. I
Unless I
know what you mean.
start, and I'm trying to play it quite a bit,
Yeah,
so I don't lose the controls, so I can start remembering bits and bobs. So, but no, I'm
mm.
enjoying it. Um, Will I play it when it comes out on launch? Probably not. I have ordered it, but I probably won't play it because I do really want to do Breath of the Wild. There's no point going to the next one until I finish the one before.
No, because it is a direct sequel. I mean, you probably could get away with playing it if you've never played the first, though. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
because it's very vague. Like, I don't want to say I'm not going to give spoilers, but it's very vague at the beginning, if that makes sense. So it's not really, there's no story links really, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I do get what you mean. I've been very similar with Zelda games. I mean, I've completed like Ocarina of Time. I never finished Majora's Mask. Um, Link's Awakening is one of my favorite ones. I've completed that a couple of times, but Skyward Sword I never finished. Wind Wanker I never finished.
I
Um,
love Wind Wanker though. It's a brilliant
I
game.
mean
It's
the art style. Oh yeah, I
yeah.
just something about it. I just never finished it.
No, I got to a bit where you're flying through the air, and I just can't. I just can't fly through the air to where I've got to get to. I keep missing it and falling off. So um, I haven't mentioned this, and I haven't mentioned this on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
I did actually buy a Nintendo Switch Zelda edition.
Nice, mate. Nice. Those things look super awesome, mate. So
Yeah,
that's an OLED one as well, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah. I bought it 2 weeks ago. I haven't mentioned it because I don't know. I just didn't want to mention it really because I don't like mention if I spend money. The only
So
reason I
you've
bought
got
it
it
is because I'm
already.
still rocking the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so does it come with a digital code for it
No,
or
no,
physical?
it's an absolute piss take. You buy the OLED Zelda, it comes with all the Zelda information on the box. Looks beautiful. The Switch itself looks lovely. It's got all this writing all over the Zelda, and even
Yeah.
the dock is all Zelda and the rest of it. No game.
Oh, so you still got to buy the game.
You still got to buy the game. Yeah, it's an absolute piss take. But the only reason I bought it is because it's a limited edition sort of thing. Because
Yeah,
I'm a
too
sucker.
right.
I'm a sucker for Zelda things anyway. I do own the Zelda 3DS, which was gold. I still have that. They're crazy money now. I've
Yeah.
always had a thing for Zelda stuff. I've got the amiibo on order. Um, and the only reason I bought it is because I was going to buy an OLED anyway soon because my Switch is a day one. I
Yeah.
bought day one, and it's really old. And I know
Mm,
when I go into my daughter's bedroom and I have a look at her Switch, the screen is just so much better than the original ones. And my
yeah.
eyes are getting a bit worse these days. And it's perfect because I can play in bed and not have to worry about, oh, fucking, I've got to go and get my glasses or whatever.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I mean, I've got two older style switches, and the
Mm.
day one that I have Zelda on is the screen's cracked because my boy dropped it. I
All
mean,
right.
it still looked fine, but I mean, to be honest, I've mainly been playing Zelda on my TV
Yeah.
with the Pro controller because I still prefer playing on the screen. So for me, that's one of the reasons why I've never bought the OLED because when on the rare occasion I do play the Switch, I end up just docking it and playing it on the telly anyway. So
Yeah, well, I'm going
yeah,
away in August for a little while, and it's like it'd be great because then it means I can take the OLED and not have to worry
yeah,
about
too right, mate. Yeah,
just pick it up, play it whenever, and not think about I can't see the screen. And that's the other thing as well with the OLED is the screen is actually larger on the
yeah, it
original
is. Mm,
Switch. It had the black board all the way around, but the new one is actually a lot bigger as well, which is
yeah,
great.
yeah.
My original one makes quite a noise on the fan. I've noticed.
Yeah, it probably got a lot of dust in it, mate. To be honest, give it a
don't know,
clean,
but
give
yeah,
it a sort out.
I've never taken one of them apart, so I wouldn't know how to. I wouldn't even want to start.
YouTube guides, mate. Ha!
Yeah, I've got to find time though. So yeah,
Yeah, true.
I've got a new one now. There we go. Fly
Yeah,
away,
job
Martin.
done, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else you been playing then, Stunty, mate?
Right.
Anything interesting?
I've this year I said to myself that I want to actually finish games this year because that's always something that I don't always do. I
Mm-hmm.
sort of a bit of an old school gamer that sort of just goes from one game to another game. So I'll quickly go through a few of these. I'm going to be quite quick because a lot of these you don't really want to talk about too much. Where are we? Where's my list? So, what we've done. I'll go through what I've finished so far, and then the ones I will stop at, which I want to talk about a bit more. I finished Horizon Forbidden West this year.
Oh,
It is all
nice.
right. Not as good as the first one. A little bit disappointed with it. Last of Us remake. I finished that. I really enjoyed it. It was good to go back to that. I haven't played it since the PS3 version, and it is a brilliant game. It
Yeah.
really is a good game. I don't. It was actually not as long as I thought it was to finish it, which was quite surprised. I did it in about 10 hours, which I was quite
Okay.
surprised. Yeah, so Spider-Man Miles Morales, yeah,
Oh,
really
good
enjoyed
game.
that.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
game.
really
Yeah.
good game. Dying Light 2. Oh man, this game is fucking a nightmare. This game was a love and hate relationship with this game because I love this game, but I also hate this game as well. Some
Mm.
of the bits that you've got to climb the tower to get to the top are absolutely a ball ache because if you miss a certain jump, it takes you all the way back down to the bottom again. And then the other thing is the last boss. Oh my God, the last boss is an absolute bitch. I couldn't do it on my own. I had to get people in to help me.
Oh no,
And
how
he has
annoying.
3 different stages as well. So it's not like you just fight him once, you fight him over 3 stages. In the end, I had to try. Once you got past the first section stage, you get to the next section. If you die on that section stage, you get to go. You don't go all the way back to the beginning. You do start on the second section. It took me probably 3 attempts to do him,
Wow.
and I did it. And I was playing on normal, so I wasn't on easy or anything like that. But yeah, I do like the game. I really do. But it's just some of it was just a bit stupid, really. But there we go. What else? I'll leave the best one till last.
Yeah, so what do we normally do it is a game each. So I don't know how many
Yeah.
games you've got.
Well, I've only got 3 on here, and then I've got one which is a new game I'll talk about.
All right, well, so what we'll do is we'll take it in turns with the game, Stunty.
Yeah, okay.
Just to change it up a little bit. Because apart from Zelda, like my games have only been very bitty as well. So yeah, I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on mine. So Game Pass released a new game this week. It's had a lot of controversy. Redfall.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. Now, I haven't played it enough to form an opinion, to be honest, Stunty. I mean, I literally played it for about 20, 30 minutes. My week's been really hectic, mate, but just with work and obviously wanting to play Zelda as much as possible as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm in a bit of a privileged position because I play it on PC, so the whole frame rate issue is defunct for me. Playing it at smooth 165, no problems there. Graphically, yeah, it's not the best, but you know, it's not the end of the world. It's still playable. You know, I know like a lot of as we mentioned earlier with Zelda, you know, not the graphics aren't the best, but still playable, right? So I know it's Arcane Studios. and they're renowned for some good quality looking games. And I know we should probably expect more on these systems, but graphically, it's not amazing. Unfortunately, now I know there's been a lot the review scores are really bad. I think it's got about a 6, average about a 6 out of 10, which is pretty poor. But from what I played on it, like I feel from my early impressions that it would be fun to play in co-op. Like the way the movement of the characters and the way it's kind of presented, it feels very Left 4 Dead. And I know Left 4 Dead's are very old, but that's kind of how it feels, because you start off in this ship that's crashed, and then you make your way through this kind of part of a town, fight off some enemies, and then you get into a fire station, and then you fight some enemies in there. Then you fight your first proper vampire, and you've got to stake him in the heart, and then you meet like the people in the fire station, walk around and get your missions, and away you go. And I thought to myself as I was playing it, I don't know where all this real hate is coming from for it, because on my own, I was having fun. I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh fucking hell, this is fucking shitty shit." I thought, "Oh, this is actually quite fun." So I don't understand.
I think it's more the fact being that Microsoft haven't released a proper game, a AAA game, for over a year and a half, nearly.
Yeah,
and it's like the last game was Halo, which was a big disappointment. It was, didn't even have co-op.
No, and I completely understand that. And
they've got all these studios, and then they released this game that's just. And they knew. I mean, it came out 2 weeks ago, didn't it? That the frame rate was 30 frames per second.
Yeah, on the console.
It didn't really bother me to that degree, but I think that's where the hate's come. This big corporation, Microsoft. Oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, with also the Activision shit going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
They released this game that's sort of a broken mess. I mean, I've read bits and bobs about it. I mean, the world is supposed to be quite empty.
Yeah.
Some of the bosses are not really. You just shoot them once and they're dead. It's just, and that's on normal as well. It's there is. I've been told there's a fun game there, but for what it is compared to what Sony released when they released like a God of War Ragnarok or something like that, that's a big triple game and it's really good. That's why there's a backlash on Microsoft at the moment.
There is a big backlash. I mean, I watched a podcast video today where Phil Spencer was being interviewed. It was a kind of funny Xbox podcast, I think it was. Right. And he came out and said, look, it's Redfall didn't live up to our expectations, but we think Xbox is doing okay. However, we're in third place in the console market, but we're trying all these things. And as a primarily, Xbox fanboy from back in the day, I mean, I'm primarily PC now, but it's still that ecosystem. I can agree with what people are saying on the lack of games, because you got Game Pass pumped out to be this big thing, and a lot of the games I think have been very disappointing, which is frustrating.
I think the issue as well with Microsoft is they just keep going on about Game Pass. That's all they've ever done for the last fucking years now. It's Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Where you're getting all these IPs in, as in basically you're just getting third party people coming for games on there, things like Outriders and stuff like that. But you need your own games on there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing as well is I do think Microsoft are really, and they've done this for quite a while, do think Microsoft have gone down the multiplayer route too much now. Because you think about it, the multiplayer games, Halo was always geared up to be a multiplayer game, which it is. Okay. Yeah. Sea of Thieves, multiplayer game. Ark, this game now, multiplayer game. Grounded, multiplayer game. They're not interested in your single player games. All right, you could say yes, they are. Well, only one, which is that the small one that's come out this year, which is
Hi-Fi Rush,
Hi-Fi Rush. But they've always, for me, in my eyes, I've always felt Microsoft have always been the company that has multiplayer games. Sony have always been the single alone experience but that kind of thing, really.
Yeah.
And that's probably the reason why they've gone for the Activision deal, because they want the CODs. Because it's multiplayer again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say though is Phil Spencer's full of shit. I'm sorry, he's full of shit at the moment, because it's like, oh, we're in third place. Oh, we're not trying to compete with Sony and Nintendo. Yes, you are. Don't give us all this bullshit. I've never known so much crap come out of your mouth at the moment. It's unreal. Realistically, I think you should walk away and get someone else in. I don't think he's doing the job properly. I'm sorry. So.
I think what Microsoft with Xbox need to do is be a little bit like Nintendo and do things different. They are trying to be too much like Sony, and it's not going to work because PlayStation. You look at their exclusive games; they're pretty much all quality games. And that's why people kind of drive towards that system, because of that quality. Loads of good quality games on there. I mean, I can't really think of a bad exclusive, to be honest. Whereas Xbox, because it's all going to Game Pass, that it just feels like that quality has gone downhill a little bit. And what's frustrating for Xbox players as well is they announced a couple of years ago that they bought up all these studios, but no games have come from them yet. So where the fuck are they? And I think
they're still buying more.
Yeah,
that's what's pissed me off a little bit. They're buying more studios. What about all the stuff you already got? I mean, basically, Sony bought a studio last week. They're now 24 studios. How many have Microsoft got? 24 studios. They have 24 studios, and they haven't done anything. But we want to buy the Activision. Why don't you deal with what you got? That's like Tesco saying, right, we're going to buy Asda, we're going to buy Morrison's, but the food in our shop is shit at the moment, but we'll just keep buying all the rest of them.
I don't get it, mate. I mean,
no.
I can see where the hate is coming from, but Redfall, I think, from what I've played and from what I've, you got to take it as your own experience, I think.
Yes, that's right.
And a few people I know played it are also enjoying it, so I'm going to give it more of a go, and then I'm going to form a proper opinion, as I've not played it enough to make a proper informed opinion at the moment, but my first impressions were pretty positive, to be fair.
Would you say on first impressions, is it better than Back for Blood?
That's tough, because the beginning of Back for Blood was really good, and then it kind of fell to pieces for me.
Yeah, I think the card system destroyed Back for Blood.
Yeah,
I don't think it needed that, but I enjoyed Back for Blood.
Yeah, I don't know. I did have fun on it. Just the difficulty ramp up towards the end was fucking shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what ruined. Yeah, that's probably what ruined Back for Blood. Really, it was just too hard, wasn't it? Even with four of us, we couldn't do it.
Yeah. But no, as I say, like my first impressions, I've got a positive on Redfall, but I just haven't played it enough, and I haven't played it in co-op yet either. So,
right, okay.
Yeah, as I say, I'm reserving judgment. I just haven't had the time I wanted to, but the days have just passed me by. Anyway, back to you, Stunty, because I know we could rattle on about Redfall. Microsoft fucking up for hours. So
yeah, right. Next game I played, Evil West, and I finished
nice. Oh, brilliant!
I really like this game, and I really hate this game. This game it starts, and I love it. I thought it was fucking awesome. I thought it was brilliant. Just a third-person shooter with more of it's a shooter, but it then becomes more of a hack and slash game. And the hack and slash also, if you do certain special moves, it then gives you more power-ups and gives you health drops as well. Basically, it's set in the West, the West, the old West, but it's the evil West with the vampires that have taken over, the world.
Oh, nice.
Graphically, I thought it was really good. It reminded me a little bit of Call of Juarez. That sort of style.
Nice.
But third person though, because I can't remember. I think Call of Juarez, were they third person or were they first person?
First person.
They were first person, right? Yeah, this is third person. I love the story. I thought the story was really good in Evil West. There is some mad difficulty spikes though. I nearly gave up with it because I got caught on a couple of difficulty spikes. And then there's 16 chapters on the game, and it was like chapter 14, I think it was. I had an absolute bitch of a boss, and I tried it for about 6 times one night, couldn't do it, turned it off. I thought, right, that's it. I'm done with this now. I'm not going to play this again. Went back to the next day, and I did it on the second attempt.
Nice.
And then, but what made me laugh is the final boss was easier than the chapter 14 boss.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Typical,
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
there is a lot of difficulty spikes. When you play New Game Plus, you still get all your stuff that you find, because there's all things that can level you up and give you extra things as well. It's really, I recommend picking it up at some point. It's well worth playing.
It's odd because it kind of fell off the radar, I feel.
Yeah, I don't even know who made it, to be honest.
When did it come out? Late last year, I think.
I think it was September, October time. I know I was always interested in it for a while, and then I didn't buy it on launch because I just thought, I don't really want to spend too much money.
Yeah.
It's developed by Flying Wild Hog. Never heard of them. And then I ended up picking it from eBay for, I think it was 20 quid. It was second hand. So
Bad, mate. Yeah,
it was great, and I'm chuffed. I went through it and finished it. Yeah, it is a good game. It's well worth picking up. So
cool. Excellent. So where am I? Yeah, so I played a little bit more of Ghostwire Tokyo this week because I'm really liking it. I think it's a really good game. I know it's been on PlayStation for quite a while, only released on Xbox/PC on the Game Pass a few weeks ago. Yeah, Darren loved it. I know a few people in the Discord are hating it. They think it's shite, which I'm quite surprised about. I think it's because it's Japanese, you see. Because I've got it with the Japanese voices and English subtitles. But I'm really enjoying the game because the story's really interesting. I think like it takes from Japanese folklore with the spirits, ghosts, and other funky like creatures in the game, and the Torii gates, and it's all set in Tokyo and all that, right? But I love all that because I think it's something different, something interesting. It's a very spooky game. Like the enemies look fucked up. They really do. Quite freaky. But what I'm liking about it, I'm just going to talk about the graphics very quickly. I know it's not the biggest deal, but playing it on PC, ray tracing on, and because it's a city with all the lights going and screens and that, it looks stunning, absolutely stunning. So so on that from that perspective, it's very immersive. From a gameplay perspective, I know what's putting some people off is just the combat. I think it's okay. So basically, you start off with one kind of magic ability, which is air, and you like fling them from your hands, and you can power it up and make more powerful ones. And you hit the enemies, then you rip their hearts out. Later on, you unlock more. So I've unlocked fire as well, so I can fling fire at the enemies for more damage and stuff. And you also unlock a bow and arrow. And I know later on you unlock more magic, but I've not got that far yet. And it's pretty much an open world city, really, because once you get to a certain point in the game, which I'm at, it opens up, and you can either like go and do the main missions, or there's loads of side quests you can do, like saving spirits, or basically I had one where I just happened upon it where there was like this person who died, and he was a hoarder, and his spirit was haunting his house with all the crap in it, and then you get transported into like this other realm, and you have to fight with these enemies, and then you have to kind of exorcise his spirit from the building, which is really cool. So it's really funky, weird game because like you can buy stuff from the shops, but all the shopkeepers are cats. Which is really funny. So it's just very out there, something completely different to the norm. which is why I'm enjoying it, to be honest, Paul, because I like games that are different, and I
Yeah.
like games that dive into other cultures, and that's why I'm really enjoying that, and that's why I was enjoying that Chichia game the other week.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll probably enjoy it as well because I do like the Japanese stuff. I mean, as I say,
yeah,
like yourself, Yakuza games. To be honest, I've been watching quite a few things to do with Japanese, or well, that part of Hong Kong actually as well. TV programs actually. Tokyo
yeah.
Vice, which I know Colin loved as
Oh, I
well.
watched that. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
watching something at the moment called The Stranger.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
it's quite old actually. It's on ITV, on the catch up, and it's that's set in Hong Kong, and it's
Oh,
John
nice.
Sims. You remember John Sims from Human Traffic?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, that's really good. So and that's in Hong Kong as and it's like it's that culture, isn't it? That's just different, and it's
yeah,
just lovely.
yeah, yeah. So, let's
I
go
look
for
forward to playing
Tokyo.
it actually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really good,
it's
mate.
on because it's on PS Plus, and I've got it on there. I haven't actually downloaded it because I have to draw a limit of how much stuff I'm playing. Or
Yeah,
well,
no, I understand, mate.
right. I'll just quickly say I finally finished Alan Wake.
Oh, did you never
Um,
play the original back in the
no,
day?
well,
Oh, wow.
no, well, I did play a little bit on the 360, and I just couldn't get into it.
Mm.
Uh, and then I did buy the remaster on the PS4 probably when it came out, and played probably up to the same bit again as I played on the 360, and I sort of just fell off it. I don't know what it was. I think it's more the fact being I fell off it because of the fact being he's smoked about 60 a day.
Oh, I know.
So, and once you can get past the mechanics, I think that's the biggest problem with that game.
mm,
Is the
mm.
mechanics are just really clumsome.
Yeah,
Um, and it's just once I got past that and the story, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I actually finished it all. Um,
excellent.
yeah, good. I
That's
haven't
quite
done any.
funny. It's quite
Yeah, go on.
funny, like saying because I've been playing the remaster the past couple of weeks myself.
Mm,
Because this is one of my favourite games of all time. Really, I really like it. It's got some comedy moments in it.
mm.
I'm nearly finished it again, but I'm using a guide to get all the collectibles because I know the story. Because I completed it like 3 times on the 360.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to chivo horror it a bit on the Series X, but I like it's really weird because they've remastered it, but the graphics I don't think look that much
no,
better from the 360 version anyway,
right.
especially the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, I don't think they've done any with the cutscenes, have they?
No, no, they haven't.
Cutscenes look worse than the actual main.
Yeah, but no, I think it's good it got remastered because it got people back in. I think it's got people back into it because I believe there is an Alan Wake 2 coming at the end of the year.
Well, I also
So
think it got remastered because the fact being it then wasn't a Microsoft product, was it? It was
Remedy,
always
no,
no, because
yeah,
originally it was actually just Microsoft only, wasn't it? IP.
mm.
They must have had some kind of
They
deal
probably
on
did
it.
a dodgy deal. Yeah,
Yeah,
a,
10 years
a
like what
dodgy Sony
Sony.
deal.
Yeah, dodgy Sony deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but it was good. It's great to play. I did feel at first when I went back to it, it was like, oh, I don't know if I can deal with this. And then I slowly started to learn the mechanics more and more and got better
mm,
at it and learned how to use the light against the things that are coming at you or the enemies.
yeah,
And there's still a few moments where it's a little bit tough. You're trying to run, but you can't run because you go, I'm out of breath again. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake,
yeah,
you useless wanker. It's like,
yeah,
that makes it quite intense.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm pleased I finished it. So
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
not.
excellent. Did you do the DLCs as well, or
No, I had a look at I did start one of the DLCs, and I was put off because the trophies were shit on it.
uh the DLCs are really good actually
Yeah,
if you did
and
want to play them.
yeah, I'm going to keep the game anyway. I'm not getting rid of it. I mean, it's one to keep for the collection anyway. So it's one of those that I probably could go back to one day and go
Mm.
to. I did notice on the trophies that not many people have got many trophies on it because the percentage was really low on
Mm.
the DLC. Yeah. It was actually quite low on the game actually as well. Actually, I was quite surprised.
Yeah, I'm quite
Mm.
surprised at that as well actually.
Right, back to you.
Yeah, I've only got 2 more games. So,
Yeah, I mean,
finished Dead Island 2 this week.
right,
Just
okay, bloody
just the
hell.
main story. The main campaign's actually quite short.
Mm,
Um, I like it. I think it's good. However, I think my experience was hampered a little bit. I mean, because I played through the campaign free play cop with Venom and Laffer, and they just kind of wanted to rush through it. And I
right,
think the problem with that the problem we had was because we were just rushing through the main missions, we were very underleveled towards the end
right,
of the game. So we were struggling to beat enemies. Like all the enemies had the skulls next to their names, and they were taking forever. And we got to like one boss, which literally took us 45 minutes to kill. We were just
wow,
taking it in turns to die. Yeah. So we kind of gave up, and then the next day or day or two later, I noticed that Darkest Frost was online playing it. So I got invited into a party and joined his game. And funny enough, he was at the exact same section that we'd given up on, but he'd been playing the game properly, and he was like 12 levels above me. So obviously my stats all went up to his stats because I joined his game, and then finished the game with Frosty and Venom. Funnily enough, joined as well because he saw us on. So we've actually all finished it then, and it was quite enjoyable actually. The only thing I don't like about it, and I think one of the reasons why we didn't do all the side missions is that the side missions were quite like some of them were quite frustrating.
mm,
So and because the game's very silly, there's no seriousness about it at all, right? So you get these side missions where there's this girl who wants to video everything for a fucking YouTube channel, and she's really annoying. And she's like, "Oh, I want you to kill 30 zombies by kicking them off the cliff." And it's like, for fuck's sake! And do you know how hard that is to fucking do? It takes ages. So those kind of side missions were I just found them more annoying than fun.
mm,
But gameplay wise, I think it's very smooth. I like the melee combat. It was really, really cool. You do get some guns in it, but the gun play is just a bit shit compared to the melee weapons, to be honest.
mm,
Um, but yeah, it is a good blast in co-op. I'm not sure how I would fare playing it single player, because those sort of games are designed for multiplayer co-op action. However, a few people in the Discord did finish it single player and said that they had a lot of fun on it. So if they had fun, they had fun, right? That's great. But I think me personally, I'm glad I played it in co-op, even though we did play it kind of rushed. So I've left it installed to join Switch in the near future because he plays games very slowly. So we'll probably bang out all the side missions together or something. But yes, I think it's a good game for sure.
mm.
So yeah, I'm glad I picked it up.
Cool. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
probably pick it up at some point when it's cheap. So I did
good
enjoy
man.
the original one.
Yeah, it's just a shame it doesn't have any crossplay. When you think in this day and age, all the sort of all the multiplayer games have crossplay, but this doesn't,
Yeah,
because I was going to pick up on PC, but then obviously found out it wasn't crossplay, so I bought it on the old sexy box.
yeah. Well, it's been in sort of development hell for years, isn't it? So
Yeah, it
it's probably
has,
a
yeah,
reason why it didn't have crossplay. So
yeah.
um, um, I have been playing Gotham Knights.
Oh yeah, how was that then? I think Sly enjoyed that,
Um, it's all right.
Just all
It's all right.
right,
It's all
yeah,
right. I don't want to turn the console on and I've got to play it. It doesn't do
yeah.
that.
No, that's fair.
It's basically there's bits of it that I really do enjoy. You get certain missions that are just they're really cool. Um,
Yeah,
and then but the problem is as well is there's a lot of, I mean, all right, you've got now got the fast travel open up on it, but there's a lot of things where you have to go back to your base and then you have to make the day end. And it's like then to move it on to the next day, and then you have to do another mission, and you have to end the day. It's just repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse.
right.
The world looks okay. It feels dead. It's missing something. There's not lots going on. You see cars going around, but it doesn't feel interactive. It doesn't grab you. You don't think, oh, I'll have a wander around there and the rest of it. It's just the character. You can pick either one of the 4 characters. I picked Red Hood. I think it's Red Hood. And basically, you have a grappling hook. That's what makes you go round the map, or you use a motorbike, which you just push the right up on the D-pad, and it just spawns this motorbike out of nowhere. The motorbike, when you're on it, it's sort of weird. It goes into this kind of weird zoom with the way it travels. It's just probably because it's 30 frames per second or whatever. I don't know. It just feels a bit weird. It's no Arkham Knight. I'll be honest. It's not even as good as. I don't think it's even as good as. It was Arkham Knight, wasn't it? The last one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even as good as that. I know a lot of people got pissed off of Arkham Knight because of the car, the bat vehicle you had, but I didn't mind it, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, some of the story bits are really good. I don't think the characters are that great, to be honest. I don't really know enough about these 4 characters. Well, I know who Robin is, but I never would play him as a character. So it's just missing the whole Batman thing. It's all right. I mean, I only paid 15 quid for it. So for me, it's worth 15 quid. It'll probably end up on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus at some point. Try it. You might like it. You're not gonna tell your mates to go and buy it though. It's one of those games. It's a 7 out of 10 game, I'd say.
Yeah.
But there we go. So the only thing I will say is, the actual fighting mechanics, pretty cool, and the rest of it. So, and there's a lot of leveling up bits and bobs as well. The only thing I did come across, I've come up against these weird creatures. I'm not going to spoil it. Oh, they're just a fucking ball ache to kill. You're trying to hit them. They just keep bouncing around all over the place. And it's like, come on, get just close enough so I can just smack you in the mouth, sort of thing. And you just can't. And you end up having to just shoot them and just hope that you can hit them. They're just a bit of a pain. And I'm playing it on easy as well. And it's still
Noobenstein.
Yeah, well, certain games like that, I just want to get through. I just want to enjoy the story, really.
I put most of my games on easy these days, mate. Don't worry about it. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
So, right, back to you for your last one. Then I'll do one more.
Yeah, well, so this game, I'd have to preface this a little bit. So I did something I said I wasn't going to do this because I've been talking about it for a while, and I bought a new mobile phone. So I picked up a Samsung Galaxy S3 Ultra, S23 Ultra. Fantastic phone, loving it. It's super sexy. Anyway, so I've been playing some phone games. I know they're not real games, but on the phone. But this game I've been playing on phone and PC, so it kind of does count. And it is from the same people who made Genshin Impact, which I know you know a lot about, stunning because your daughter plays it. Yeah. And it's called Honkai Star Rail.
Right, okay, after that, I know that.
And I am a big fan of Genshin Impact.
So it's called Honkai Honkai,
Honkai, Star Rail. Right, it's only on PC and phone at the minute, but it is coming to PlayStation soon, apparently.
Is it a Chinese game?
Yeah, it's made by the same people that did Genshin Impact.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, right. Who's it? Hoyo? What the fuck they're called? I don't know. I can't remember what they're called now. Anyway, it is those people. So I was, because I like Genshin Impact, I thought I'd check this out because the main thing for me is it's turn-based combat, not action combat. So so for me, that's a box ticked. But it's exactly the same art style as Genshin Impact, which is really, really nice, kind of cartoony type, what do I call it, manga kind of art, right? So it's all set in space. So basically, your spaceship is a train, which is why it's called Star Rail. So it's like looks like an old kind of English steam train, but it's flying through space. That's your spaceship. I've not played it a lot, but my impressions are very positive. It's actually like only come out about a week or two ago, and it was off my. I didn't even know about it. I just saw it as in the top 5 games on the phone store, and I was like, oh, I'll check. I'll watch a video, and yeah, and people are raving about it. So, you start off and you make your character, and you don't know who you are, and all this bullshit, as they do in that. But my initial impressions were, really nice areas, gorgeous graphics, and then you get into the battles and you have your party, kind of like the old turn-based Final Fantasy games, and you pick your moves and away you go. But the cool thing about it is, what I like about it is, if you're playing it on PC, you turn off the game and you pick it up on your phone and you can carry on. So it's all cross save, which is fantastic. So I just wanted to shout that out to people that might not know about it. It's free to play. I think it has that kind of same gacha system as Genshin Impact, but I played a lot of hours of Genshin Impact and never spent any money. So I think this is kind of the same. So yeah, I just wanted to mention it really, just because I've played it a little bit, maybe a couple of hours on both platforms, and it's really, really good, mate. Really, really good. So
Yeah, I'll let my daughter know about that because well, she hasn't played it for a while, but she did, get quite into Genshin.
yeah,
I think it's the most played game she's ever played. To be honest.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. I actually bought a game.
What?
Yeah, I actually bought a game that's brand new. I haven't
No
bought many games
way.
this year. I've only bought one game this year so far. And this game I'm very surprised about.
Mm.
Dredge.
Dredge. What?
Dredge.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of it?
No.
Wow. So look at it. It's Dredge.
All right.
Dredge.
Yeah, I'll have a look now while we're chatting.
It's a little indie game.
Mm-hmm.
23 quid, I think it was, on PlayStation.
Okay. Is this on
This
Xbox as well? So,
I'm not sure on Xbox. I know it's on the Switch. I'm not sure on Xbox.
okay.
This game is brilliant.
Yeah.
This is the game I've wanted for ages. It's one of those kind of games where you want to just unwind, relax, like a Stardew Valley sort of style game. But basically, this game is where you are a fisherman in a boat, and basically you go out to sea. Well, the start of the game is that you crash in your boat, so you end up at this island, and the guy on the island, who is a bit like Nuke from Animal Crossing, says to you, "I can fix you up a boat, but you're going to have to owe me lots of money." But if you go out into the world and you find all this stuff that's out there, you can pay it back in installments. There we go. So, like
real life.
yeah, like real life. So you get a boat, you go out, and you basically find a bit that says you can fish, and then you sort of have a wheel, and then you push the square button at certain points, and if it's in the right point, he grabs the fish. You put it on your boat. You can only carry so much fish. You then have to go back to the base, and then you put the fish in. You get the money. The game's on a time. It's a day night time.
Oh yeah.
You don't fish at night
Oh.
because there's monsters out there.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the monsters, I haven't come across any of the big buggers yet, but I come across some piranhas, and they nearly battered my boat to bits. You've got no
Oh
way of
wow.
defending yourself. You've got to just try and escape. And the other thing as well is your boat is shit, because you've got to remember you've just started the game, so you've got not a very fast boat. But as you can progress in the game, you can get better a better boat, can
Yeah.
carry more, get better fishing stuff. You can then pick up stuff on the seabed, like bits of wood and stuff, and take it back and upgrade your boat. There's missions as well you do where you sort of go to an island. I went to an island, there was a guy there, he said, "Oh, I've been shipwrecked. please take me back to this place. So I took him back. Well, I didn't actually. The first time I said, "No, I can't take you. I got in your room." And he got arsey with me, uh, and I just left him there and went off in a boat. So I did go back and
Lols.
get him again. This game is just very therapeutic. It's got an art style like I don't know what would you call the art style. It's a that soft Firewatch sort of style.
Yeah, I'd say that from watching the video. It looks really good, actually, from what
It is
I've just
really good.
watched. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of YouTubers are all over this and Twitch streamers. It's got a lot of hype on it.
Mm.
I know Crown the Man picked it up, and I saw him picked it up, and I thought, I don't know why he's picked that up for. That looks a weird game. And then I started watching a video of it. I think it was Evie. She was watching. My daughter was watching. I started watching the thing. Quite like this. This looks quite interesting. I've picked it up, and as I said, I started it yesterday, and I thought I'd only play it for a little bit because I had things to do. I ended up playing it for about an hour and a half. It was like, it was just brilliant. It's just really cool, and I'm going to play some more tonight. But it's just that game. If you want something that's quite easy, relaxing, there's a lot more to this game I've not even touched yet.
Yeah.
Well worth picking up.
Fantastic.
So Dredge.
Nice, mate. Yeah.
There we go.
Is that all our games?
That's it.
Wowzers, trousers. We've been an hour as well. That's fantastic. I don't have any news, mate, apart from the whole Microsoft Activision thing. The UK have blocked the acquisition from happening, so Microsoft are appealing that at the moment.
Yeah, and they said that the UK is we will destroy the UK as well from some of the wording, not in those words, but as in like
jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going to put out, even though just before that they were, we love the UK, so they've backtracked on themselves straight away, haven't they?
Yeah, because they've been told no, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so they were giving it all we love the UK and the rest of it, and then started putting all these billboards up on the tube lines and the rest of it about the deal, and it was all going through the typical bullshit Microsoft, and then the UK government pulled the plug on it. I can understand some of it because I listen to Digital Foundry as well. I listen to them quite a lot, all the time actually, and also the whole thing that the cloud gaming, why they pulled the plug on it. They didn't want it because of the cloud gaming. And they were saying, well, what's the issue? Well, there is a slight issue, and that is that and it's not at the moment because cloud gaming is very small. But Microsoft do actually own all of the cloud gaming and the cloud market with Azure. They own it all at the moment. And this is where you start getting a monopoly. Now, I'm not happy with it when you start getting monopolies because you do see this with the PC space. You've only got Microsoft or Apple. People say, "Oh, what about Linux?" Linux doesn't have anything. It doesn't have, it's nothing. If I walked into a shop, I have two options. I either buy a Microsoft product with Windows 11 on it or an Apple. That's it. That's my only options. So for the normal everyday person, we're not talking people that are proper PC gurus. We're talking the average person.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And that's the problem I have. I have a Microsoft computer at the moment. I can't stand Microsoft Windows. It just does my head in. I want to go to Apple, but it's the price.
Yeah, that's
Apple
ridiculous.
products are very expensive for what they are. And this is where the other issue would go back to where we started on with the cloud market. At the moment, Microsoft has the monopoly on that.
But I think from the cloud gaming perspective, the market isn't really there. You look on Live died. Google even tried it and it died. You know,
it isn't there yet. But when it does come, Microsoft's got the whole market. That's the problem you have. That's the worry you have. So then you're in a situation where, I have to use Microsoft. I haven't got any other option. And this is why Microsoft want it. okay, we haven't got the cloud gaming market at the moment, but eventually things will then, the internet will get better and better. I mean, America, they have it, don't they? They have the infrastructure. We don't have it in this country.
Not
We probably won't,
really to that degree, but I
no.
think even PlayStation streaming, cloud streaming uses Azure
Yeah,
as
I know they
well.
do. Yeah, I
So,
know. Yes, that's what I mean. Microsoft do
yeah,
have the market on that, so I can understand slightly why there's a little bit of worry about this whole thing. The other thing as well on this to do with this is that they're giving it a load of shit on the UK, but the EU haven't even told us what they want yet. So
yeah.
there's all this, and the Americans as well. There's still this hasn't. Everyone's saying, "Oh, the UK horrible, terrible," but it's still not been ruled by the EU or America.
Mm.
It's just the UK come out first, and so you don't know what's going to happen on this. If the
Well,
deal,
from a customer's perspective, as someone who pays for Game Pass, I personally wanted it to go through, so I don't have to buy Call of Duty anymore.
yeah, I can
Um,
understand you on that. Yeah,
but
for me, I'm
that
losing a
was
load of
it. That's all I
IPs.
care about. That's all I just
Yeah,
want.
I know.
I just want some
Yeah,
good games on Game Pass, mate.
I just don't like it because one, just play the PlayStation and the Switch these days, and I'm then losing a load more IPs. And, I've already lost the Wolfenstein, the Skyrim IPs, and Fallout. They've gone. You're never going to see them on a PlayStation ever again. And then you're taking even more away, which is all right. Call of Duty. I'm not really bothered about Call of Duty, but there's a lot of IPs that are still out there. The
Yeah.
Spyro IP, the Crash Bandicoot IP, the Tony Hawk IP, Wolfenstein IP.
Mm.
There is a lot of IP, and it's all very well. You get the Xbox. People say, "Oh yeah, but you can buy an Xbox." Well, what happens if it was the other way around? How would you feel if Sony was buying the Activision?
Mm.
You wouldn't be happy, would you?
I mean,
You
from
don't
my
turn around and think,
perspective, again, like this is I'm just talking from personal experience, right? I own all the systems, so it
yeah,
doesn't affect someone like me that buys all the consoles, but I can see it from a PlayStation games perspective because I know that the majority of people, if they have a console, it's a PlayStation. It's the most popular console, so I can see that. I can see that perspective 100%. However, I do think that if the deal did go through, Microsoft would still be putting the CODs on the PlayStation because they'd be making a lot of money from that. You know what I mean? Like they do
yeah.
in Minecraft, they put on all the systems and all that.
But it's not that I'm interested. It's the other IPs. I'm not
Yeah,
bothered. They probably would keep the COD on the PlayStation, but it's the other IPs that I'm interested in that I don't want to lose, which I'm
yeah. No, I
probably going
understand
to
that.
lose. The Wolfenstein. I mean, I'm actually playing it at the moment. Actually, Wolfenstein 2 because I
Mm.
never actually probably played it, and that's I'm quite enjoying that. And it's like, well, I ain't going to play that again, am I? Because it won't be on there anymore. The Fallout's. But
Starfield.
you have well, yeah, I don't know on Starfield because it's a new IP, isn't it? It's
We'll
not
see
an
how
old.
it goes. I
Yeah,
think.
it's a little bit different on new IPs because there's no history.
Yeah, but
I
it's the
think,
same people that made the Elder Scrolls, isn't it? So there's a massive hype
yeah,
for it.
yeah, there is. I mean, but you could say, I mean, this is the problem. See, everyone says, "Oh, yeah, but Sony wouldn't," it'd be different. As in, well, if it was the other way around, see how it felt. You think, say tomorrow, Nintendo turn around and said, "We've bought all of Ubisoft." Okay, Colin would be happy. But how would you feel? You can't ever play an Assassin's Creed game unless you got a Switch. You
Mm,
wouldn't be happy, would you?
no, because I know the graphics would be fucking awful.
Well, yeah, but regardless of that, you
No,
wouldn't be
no,
happy.
no. I know what you mean. Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
where you've got to look at
yeah.
it from this side, and don't And everyone says, "Oh, yeah, but it's only because you're a fanboy." It's not. You're looking at you're taking an IP away from a platform to then say, "Well, the only way you can play it is if you buy this platform," and not everyone can buy those platforms anymore.
No,
I
no.
can't. I couldn't buy. All right, you could say, "Well, you just bought a Switch." Yeah, I have bought a Switch because I'm in that eco engine for the Switch these days. I've got quite a lot of stuff on the Switch. I don't have much. My game library on the Xbox is only from the 360 days.
Well, yeah, you see, like someone like me, I've got fucking hundreds and
Yeah,
hundreds of games, and
yeah.
you know,
I've probably got three games on the
mm,
Xbox One: Gears of War, Quantum Break,
mm,
and that's about
Well,
it.
this is something that Phil Spencer was saying on that podcast. He says that the problem is now, like, and why he doesn't think they'll get out of third place is because people have built up their digital libraries from the PS4 and 5 eras, PS3, 4, and 5 eras now, and people are going to get the next PlayStation because they'll be able to play all their old library on there. And the same with Xbox, isn't it? You know?
Yeah. The only slight difference with the Xbox is most of the people have their library, but they don't actually own any of it because it's all
It's
Game
all on Game
Pass.
Pass.
It's okay if it's a first party title, but if it's not, then it could disappear at some point in the future. But there we go. So, but we will find out. I mean, it'll probably go for another year or two. So,
I mean, to be honest, I don't like a big part of me. I don't give a fuck which way it goes because to be honest, Activision, I only play Call of Duty. I'm looking forward to Diablo, the new Diablo. But there's nothing else on Activision that I have played for years. But I think one of the reasons that Microsoft want them is because they own King, which make a fuck ton of money from all their mobile games.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. But who knows? We will
Yeah.
see. There's a lot of IPs Activision own that are sitting there doing nothing, though.
Yeah, I know.
Singularity and stuff like that, and a lot of older ones as well. So whether they bring them back, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the trouble. A lot of older games don't. I mean, we're still waiting. Not Activision, but we're still waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2 at some point.
That's never coming out, mate. I'm telling you now.
But they showed you such a great video for that, didn't they?
Yeah, good video.
But
yeah,
who knows?
That's all. Yeah, that's all my news, mate. I mean, that's been it. Apart from Zelda being leaked early, those are my only couple of pieces of news for this week. It's been a bit of a.
I did read one bit just on the Zelda thing. That the guy, something to do with Nintendo, said he will find out who leaked it, and did a sort of a bit of a Eurogamers put a bit of a Liam Neeson. I will find them. I will kill them. sort of thing. Yeah. If you read the piece on Eurogamer, I thought it was quite entertaining. They are going to find out who leaked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare these days. It's extremely rare that you get any games leaked early for any system, and for it to be a Nintendo game as well, that's even more rare. So, mate, I was completely shocked to find out that news, to be honest. But but it's been quite funny because people have been streaming it and getting banned from Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and
Nintendo are quite. They're very careful with IPs anyway. I mean, it keeps the hype up as well, doesn't it? So,
100%.
That's the thing. Nintendo just roll along doing what they're doing while, I mean, Sony are doing okay, but Microsoft doing what I don't know what they're doing at the moment, but they should just concentrate on their own IPs and just get some stuff out. As I say, they've got a lot of games that are in development. Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones. They've got to start being shown soon.
Yeah.
Realistically, I did see a thing that it was a Twitter thing today that Sony. There's a lot of Sony studios ready to show stuff, and it's been quiet from Sony for a while because of the Activision deal. So I think they're going to knock it out of the park, but they're probably going to knock it out of the park just by August, September, probably something like that. So then they can get more sales. Who knows? Oh, and a PS5 Pro that's now.
I did see some rumors about a PS5 Pro, but
2024.
Next year. I mean,
that's about right. That's what happened to the PS4 and the Pro was 3 years gap.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for that one again.
No. I mean, same. I mean, it is like when that new shiny comes out, it's hard to resist, isn't it? I mean, I tried to resist last gen, but the problem is, it's like, well, you get the mid-gen upgrade, and a couple of years later, the new system's out. So it's kind of like, well, just fucking. I mean, I wouldn't get an Xbox Pro, that's for sure. They haven't put out enough games on the console to justify it, to be fair.
Do you know what? This has actually probably been the longest for Microsoft ever that they haven't already started talking about a new console. Do you know that? They've always done that all through the generations. A new console comes out, year and a half, 2 years. They start, we've got an even bigger, more powerful one than the rest of it. But this is the first time ever they've been quiet on that. But then did you read that was the other thing as well on the news as well, was that Xbox console sales have dropped.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they're saying that the it's 4% down or something on the whole division or something. Game Pass is doing well. It's about 25 million or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were just saying that console sales have dropped.
Well, I'm not surprised because, like, I know I moan about Game Pass, but there has been some good. They do actually put some good games on there. You got, I mean, only recently we've had Guilty Gear Strive, Civ 6, Ni no Kuni 2, this game called Loop Hero, which is supposedly very good, Ghostwire Tokyo, Minecraft Legends, BlazBlue, Cross Battle Tag, Redfall, give or take your views on it.
You've got Lies of P coming soon, haven't you?
Yeah. And what else is coming soon? Got Forza this year. Grounded's meant to be pretty good. You've got the Yakuza series. So there's good games on there, but I don't know, man. I think big smash hits, though, they're just missing that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, Sony don't do the new release games anyway, as we know. Well,
no.
They are releasing Humanity.
Okay.
That's coming on. I don't know if you saw that. That's the weird-looking game with all the...
Yeah.
It does look quite
good.
intriguing. Yeah, it does actually look quite intriguing. That is actually a day one PlayStation Plus game because it's a small indie title, a bit like Stray was last year.
Yeah.
But they don't release the big games on PlayStation because they want to make money on them.
Yeah.
Which is realistically, they sell them for 70 quid. And that was the other thing as well I read today as well, that the price of the £70 is not going down well. It is stumbling sales.
Well, we're in a cost of living crisis, and people can't afford to pay 70 quid. I mean, I love the PlayStation exclusives. I think they're fantastic, but even I've been holding off. Like, I got God of War Ragnarok for 35 quid because I waited for it.
Not that, yeah. And I'm the same. I don't really spend. I mean, I get bits and bobs from the Sony. I mean, all I've bought this year is this Dredge and Hogwarts, but the Hogwarts was only 52. I think it was.
Yeah.
But even last year, I mean, I didn't really buy anything day one because I don't want to pay £70.
Yeah.
I don't mind paying 50 at the max, but I'm not paying any more than 50.
No, I mean, you can get some good deals on physicals still if you look around. Like, you might get her, but I pre-ordered Final Fantasy 16. Obviously, I mean, and that I think that was like 60 quid. I think I can't quite remember now. 55 quid. Final Fantasy 16 on PS5 from Game Collection. Yeah.
When's that out?
Not. Let me just double check. 22nd of June. So about 6 weeks away. Yeah.
So everyone will be done by Zelda by then. So that's perfect timing then. Isn't
it,
really?
Yeah.
So at least there's no Horizon coming out when Zelda comes out.
Yeah. But again, that's a really good exclusive for PlayStation, right? So. Yeah.
Yes, and then the other one that I'm actually there is one game I'm quite interested in now, and that's Armour Core.
Yeah, that does look quite interesting. Yeah,
I'm quite intrigued by that. I think that's on everything, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right, I better let you go.
Right, I'm going to go and watch a movie. And thank you for coming on, Stunty. It's most appreciated.
That's all right.
And hope to have you on again in the near future as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to come on next week. We're doing our first of the Nintendo specials next week. So we're doing an episode. So we're doing one episode dedicated to the NES and the SNES.
Right. Okay.
Just because me, Nick, and Switch didn't really have a lot of experience with the NES. more the
No,
SNES?
I have got one now. Well, I've had one. I've got quite a few, to be honest.
Hmm.
But yeah, I never had one back in the day.
No, nor did I.
No,
So
I
it's up
didn't
to
have a
you, mate.
SNES. To be honest. I
Yeah.
never had a SNES back in the day. I've got a load of them now, but
Mm,
I had one back then.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's up to you, mate. I mean, if you want
Yeah,
to, we can do Monday, but just let me know.
yeah. I'll see what's happening when it gets
Yeah.
closer to the time.
Yeah, that's fine.
All
Cool.
right.
All right, mate. Well, thanks very much. So for me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PS on D, Steam ID, Webby 360G.
And for me, number one Stuntmaster.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to tune in to the Patreon show next week, where we'll be talking about the NES and the SNES. And if you're not subscribed, why not? Subscribe now, patreon.com/360gamercast. And if you are subscribed for 2 consecutive months or more, you'll be added into the prize draws, which we'll be doing in a couple of weeks, giving away gift cards for the platforms of your choice. Exciting times. Anyway, we'll hopefully see you there. Catch you later. Goodbye.